Hello, lovely ones. Welcome back to Freestars Foods. In today's video, we are going to learn how I used to prepare my fresh fish tomato soup. So this will be eaten with rice, right? So if you are interested, just have a seat and then don't forget to subscribe. Let's get started. Things you need to prepare this soup are dorado fish, blended tomatoes, onions, chili pepper powder, salt, long paprikas, oil, ginger. You also need cube, round paprikas, garlic, fresh basil leaves. Now, before we start making our fresh fish, we need to know the names of what we are going to cut out of the body of the fish. So I placed this picture here for you guys to know. When I will start cutting the things, I'll be calling their names. You guys will know what I mean already. So let's get started. Now we are going to remove all the scars. The scars are part of the body of the fish, right? You can make your fresh fish soup, or you can make anything with fish without taking out the scars of the body of the fish. Those are the scars that I'm removing with the knife. You guys can see that. That was removed in the market, but not very properly. So I'm taking the rest out of the body so that this fish can be very clean and ready to be eaten. So watch it step by step how I'm cleaning or I'm taking out the scars of the body of the dorado fish. So this is how I took them off. So I'm washing the fish very properly, you guys can see, so that the scars will be out of or will be gone on the body of the fish totally. I'm using four dorado fish. Four dorado fish. So now this is our fish ready to be cutted. So I always divided them into 4 sections. If you want, you can divide them into 3 sections. It depended of how big the fish is. So I don't always like fish should be big, too much big in the soup. So I always divided them into 4 sections. So I love it seeing it like that, major. So this is our fish that we cut already. So we are going to remove a lot on the body of this cut fish. So before we get started, you need this barbecue stick or the stick we also use to take off our teeth or clean into our teeth. You can also use that stick teeth. So I kind of want to use a strainer, but I'm saying that this will not be good for the viewers, so I took it off. So we are taking out the dorsal fin and the dorsal fine, right? And we are cutting out the tail. So this is the middle of the fish. We continue take the side of the dorsal fine or fine, and this stick is helping me to take out all the stick blood, right? Those dark blood that we are seeing into the fish. I kind of say blood. Yes, blood is Holland language, is Netherlands language. Blood is blood, right? So sometimes you guys can hear me missing my Netherlands with English, but I'm not doing it on purpose, right? Immediately I noticed that I missed it, I'll correct myself. So don't worry about that. And you guys can also be learning one by one some of the words in Netherlands language. So we have to continue cutting some amount of things like pectoral fin. Pectoral fin will be taken off. Those are the pectoral fin. So after taking off the pectoral fin, we will continue to cut, make it half, cut the gills that is nearly of the head of the fish. Cut it out with your scissors, because you need also scissors, right? Now dig your two big fingers into the head and take off the wisdom of the fish, right, as you guys can see in the video. But be very careful not to choke your hands or your fingers into the fish bones. That will hurt you. So I took off all this dirty blood with my barbecue stick, as you guys can see, and wash it very well, as you are seeing the video. Take off everything out of that head of the fish, of the flesh fish that you are using, right? Clean it very well. Don't also forget to subscribe to my channel. So this is the fish, is very cleaned up. So I put them into the strainer and I'm adding salt into them. Add the salt into the head side, to the one that are cut, all of them, all the body. Let the salt goes into the fish very properly, right? I added the salt very well. Now after that, you have to put this fish aside with the salt. Subscribe to my channel, my lovely ones, right? And I have a lot to share with you guys. You guys see, I'm kind of showing you guys how everything is cleaned up. So this is basil. So I'm going to cut these things like onion, ginger, and rum paprikas, and garlic and basil. These things are going to be blended, right? So I will cut them. You guys can see how I'm cutting them. So they are already done. Why did I use to wear glove if I'm cooking? This is very good for you girls or you ladies. You have to be wearing gloves when you are cooking, because all the time when we cooked, we always put, or we take our hands under water all seconds, and this is not good for your fingers. It makes your fingers, your nails always weak, not strong enough, and your fingers very ugly. Like, even though if you are not bleaching yourself, your hands will be like darker than your complexion, and people will think maybe you are bleaching or you are using bad creams. So this is another part of things that we are going to cut. We are going to cut onions. I'm using two onions again, and they are cutted. After that, I'm going to cut one long paprika, right, as you guys can see in the video. After that, we are going to cut our hot pepper, these two peppers are very hot, so I'm cutting them differently so that I can know when I want to fetch the soup. I will know that these are the uh, hot peppers, right? So this is what I cut. Now put your palm on the fire or on your oven and add some oil. Now I'm going to add my blended tomatoes. I always use these ones, and when I use this one, I never use any tin tomatoes anymore. So I'll be adding baking soda. This baking soda make your tomatoes that is fermented not more fermented. You don't need your soup to be like people eat it and then they'll feel it under their tongues on the top of their tongue. So mix it very well, as you guys can see in the video. Let it be cooked about 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes, this is what we got, right? You can see that it's almost cooked. See? So now let's add what we just blended, right? Those things that we blended, let's add it. This one helps the soup to be smelling lovely. And now add your chili powder pepper. I just want to add a lot, but I just see that it's too much. So right, do you guys see what I just did? These things that we blended will make the soup smell very good. They are like spices for this soup, especially when you are cooking fresh fish soup. You have to be aware of a good spices. Things that you have to add in that soup should be very, very good smelling. That will give you appetite. Right? Let's cover it about 5 minutes again. Let it boil and be cooked. So you guys can see how the oil is almost on top of this tomato soup that I started cooking. So let's add our fresh meat, our fresh fish, sorry. As you guys can see, I'm adding the fish into the soup that we just cooked, right? Now, when you are cooking a fresh fish, you have to be very careful not to use this kitchen spoon, eh? Like how we used to cook all the rest of the soup. You have to be very careful so that they will not scatter into the soup. They will still be set into the soup, right? I'm adding my cube. I will not add salt yet because I put a lot of salt on the fresh fish when we finish cutting it. You guys remember, right? So I will not add anything now. Anything like salt now, right? So let it be cooked about 5 minutes. And what this is what you got. And now let's make the let's add our onion. After that, our long cut paprikas, or is one long cut paprika, and the hot pepper, the two hot peppers, yeah. So cover it. So I kind of saying that the oil is too much on top of the fish. I have kids underage. So if you have kids underage, you have to be very careful with oil in the soup. This can make them take the oil into their brain and starting coughing, and a lot can happen. So you have to be very careful when you are doing that. Even what you want to when you want to fetch the soup for your cakes, very careful that you not put a lot of oil into it. So I covered it for about 5 minutes. This is what we got. And the soup was smelling good, like, oh my God. I can assure you guys that I eated this soup with a lot of love. So after that, what did I do? You guys can see I clean up all the rounds. I clean up everything. Okay, I'm adding a little bit more of this spicy that we just blended for the soup to be giving that more smells. Don't also add it too much. If you overdo, the soup will just be like smelling or tasting only spices. So you have to be very careful. The pan I'm using is a big pan. I think it's 20 liter. Yeah, it's 20 liters or 10 liters. I'm not sure, but next time I will let you guys know. All my pans are big. So you guys can see it's a lot of soup in there. So when I always finish my fresh fish tomato soup, I added a little bit of these spices that I blended to make it more smelling good. So you guys can see the lid is also washed, right? Like you finish to prepare your soup, clean the pan, the run of the pan very properly, and the lid also should be washed, because when you were cooking this, everything was just coming out. Now see how everything is clean. Now this is how I'm eating my food, right? I added a lot of soup on top of a rice, and I love it just like that. You guys can see. Bon appétit, mes amis. You guys should come and eat with me and enjoy this soup with me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for next time. You have to see a lot. Thank you for watching my video. God bless you all, and see you next time, because yes, I love to share what I cook with a lot of people. Bye bye.